The tray trembled in Lena's hands, champagne flutes clinking as her eyes locked onto the man across the crowded dining room. He was supposed to be dead. 2 years gone in a car crash that had shattered her world. Yet there he sat at the Sunset Haven Resort, laughing with a woman whose hand rested too comfortably on his arm. Lena Martinez, 29, a waitress with a guarded smile and calloused hands, had rebuilt her life from ashes. The luxury resort in Malibu, with its glittering chandeliers and oceanfront views, was her fresh start after losing James, her husband of 5 years. She'd grieved him, mourned the future they'd planned. Kids, a house, maybe a dog, until the pain dulled into a quiet ache. Now that ache roared back to life. James, alive, sat at table 12, his familiar crooked grin flashing as he leaned toward a woman with sleek auburn hair and a diamond necklace that screamed wealth. Her pulse thundered. The dining room, alive with the hum of wealthy guests and clinking silverware, blurred at the edges. She ducked behind a marble pillar, her dark ponytail swinging as she steadied herself. Was it really him? The scar above his left eyebrow, the way he tilted his head when he laughed. It was unmistakable. But why? Why fake his death? Why let her believe he was gone? "Lena, you okay?" whispered Mia, her coworker and closest friend at the resort. Mia, 27, with short blonde hair and a knack for reading people, had become Lena's anchor since she started working here a year ago. Her green eyes flicked toward Lena's trembling hands. "You look like you've seen a ghost." "I have," Lena muttered, her voice barely audible. She pointed subtly toward table 12. "That's James, my husband. He's supposed to be dead." Mia's eyes widened, darting to the man. "No way. That's impossible." She grabbed Lena's arm, pulling her toward the kitchen. "Come on, you need a second." In the bustling kitchen, Lena leaned against a stainless steel counter, the chaos of clanging pots and shouted orders fading into white noise. She told Mia everything. The late-night police call, the mangled car, the closed casket funeral. No body to see, they'd said, too damaged. She'd believed it. She'd had no reason not to. Mia chewed her lip, her usual confidence replaced by unease. "Okay, but what if it's not him? A doppelganger or something?" Lena shook her head. "It's him. I know it's him." Her voice cracked, anger seeping through. "He's sitting there with some rich woman like I never existed." Mia hesitated, then squeezed Lena's shoulder. "You need to confront him, but not now, not in front of everyone. We'll figure this out after your shift." Lena nodded, but her mind raced. She couldn't just wait. She needed answers now. Slipping back into the dining room, she kept her distance, watching James and the woman. The stranger was in her early 30s, poised, with a sharp jawline and a laugh that carried. They shared a bottle of vintage wine, their conversation intimate, effortless. Lena's stomach twisted. Who was she? Why was James with her? As the night wore on, Lena's resolve hardened. She memorized their every move. The way James brushed the woman's hand, the way she leaned into him. When they finally left, arm in arm, heading toward the resort's private villas, Lena made a decision. She'd follow them. She had to know the truth. The resort's grounds were a maze of palm trees and glowing lanterns, the Pacific Ocean whispering in the distance. Lena trailed James and the woman at a distance, her sneakers silent on the cobblestone path. Her heart pounded, a mix of dread and fury. She wasn't the naive 24-year-old who'd married James anymore. She was tougher now, forged by loss and late-night shifts. But this was betrayal on a level she couldn't comprehend. They stopped at a villa overlooking the ocean, its glass walls reflecting the moonlight. Lena crouched behind a hibiscus bush, her breath shallow. James unlocked the door, and the woman, whose name Lena overheard as Claire, giggled as they stepped inside. The door clicked shut, and Lena's world tilted. She waited, counting minutes, until the lights inside dimmed. Then, she crept closer, peering through a gap in the curtains. James sat on a plush couch, Claire curled beside him. They were talking softly, their faces close. Lena's chest tightened. This wasn't just a fling. There was history here, intimacy. She wanted to scream, to barge in and demand answers, but her feet felt glued to the ground. Back at the staff quarters, Lena collapsed onto her cot, her mind a storm. Mia sat beside her, offering a mug of chamomile tea. "What did you see?" she asked gently. "They're together," Lena said, her voice hollow. "Like a couple. Like he's been with her all this time." Mia frowned. "We need to dig deeper. Maybe there's a reason he disappeared. Maybe he's in trouble." Lena laughed bitterly. "Trouble? He's living in a $1 million villa with a new woman. He didn't just leave me. He erased me." Mia's eyes softened. "You're not erased. You're still here, Lena. And you're stronger than he'll ever know." Something in Mia's voice, steady, fierce, cracked through Lena's numbness. She met Mia's gaze, and for a moment, the world felt less heavy. Mia had always been there, hadn't she? Through late shifts, bad days, and now this. Lena pushed the thought aside. She couldn't afford to feel anything else right now. Not when her past was unraveling. The next morning, Lena returned to the dining room, her eyes scanning for James. He and Claire were at the same table, sharing a breakfast of avocado toast and mimosas. Lena's hands shook as she poured coffee for another guest, her mind racing. She needed a plan. She couldn't confront him in public. It had cost her job, but she couldn't let him slip away either. During her break, Lena slipped into the resort's office, where staff sometimes accessed guest records. She typed James's name into the system, her fingers trembling. Nothing. Then she tried Claire's. Claire Thornton, 32. Booked for a week in the oceanfront villa. No mention of James. He was a ghost even here. Mia found her in the office, her face pale. "Lena, you're gonna get caught. What are you doing?" "Trying to figure out who he is now," Lena said, her voice tight. "He's not registered. It's like he doesn't exist." Mia glanced at the screen, then at Lena. "Maybe he's hiding. From you, from someone else. We need to be smart about this." Lena nodded, but her resolve was iron. She'd find out why James faked his death, and she'd make him face her. Over the next 2 days, Lena watched James and Claire like a hawk. They were inseparable, their affection blatant. Kisses by the pool, shared glances during dinner. Each moment was a knife in Lena's chest, but it also fueled her. She started piecing things together. Claire was a tech heiress, her name tied to a San Francisco startup worth billions. James, meanwhile, had no digital footprint. No social media, no records. It was as if he'd vanished and reinvented himself. One night, Lena overheard Claire mention a deal to James. Something about offshore accounts and a new life in Europe. Lena's blood ran cold. Was James a con artist? Had he used her, then faked his death to chase Claire's money? The thought made her sick, but it also made sense. He'd always been charming, a little too good at talking his way into anything. Mia, ever loyal, helped Lena dig. They scoured guest logs, eavesdropped when they could, even sweet-talked a bellhop for gossip. The bellhop mentioned seeing James with Claire months ago at another resort, long before Lena spotted him here. The timeline didn't add up. James had died 2 years ago, yet he'd been with Claire for at least a year. Lena's anger grew, but so did her confusion. Why go to such lengths? Why not just leave her? She confided in Mia during a late-night walk along the beach, the waves crashing under a starlit sky. "I thought I knew him," Lena said, her voice breaking. "I thought he loved me." Mia stopped, her bare feet sinking into the sand. "He didn't deserve you, Lena. You're incredible." Her voice was soft, almost hesitant, but her eyes held something deeper. Lena's breath caught. She'd felt it before. The spark when Mia's hand brushed hers, the warmth of her presence. But she pushed it down, too raw from James's betrayal to trust her heart. "I just want answers," she said, turning away. The next day, Lena got her chance. James was alone at the resort's bar, Claire nowhere in sight. Lena approached, her heart hammering. "James," she said, her voice steady despite the storm inside. He froze, his glass halfway to his lips. "Lena," his voice was a whisper, his face pale. How are you here?" "I work here," she snapped. "You're supposed to be dead." He glanced around, panic in his eyes. "It's not what you think. I can explain." "Then explain." She cut in, stepping closer. "Why did you fake your death? Why did you leave me?" James swallowed hard. "I had to. There were people after me, dangerous people. I couldn't drag you into it." Lena's hands clenched. "So you let me think you were gone? You let me grieve." "I'm sorry," he said, his voice breaking. "I never meant to hurt you." Before Lena could respond, Claire appeared, her eyes narrowing. "Who's this James?" Lena's heart sank. The confrontation was about to get messy. Claire's presence changed everything. Her sharp gaze flicked between Lena and James, suspicion etched into her features. "James, what's going on?" she demanded, her voice low but commanding. Lena didn't back down. "I'm his wife," she said, the word tasting bitter. "Or I was, until he faked his death." Claire's face went blank, then hardened. "His wife." She turned to James, her voice icy. "You told me you were single. You said your past was clean." James scrambled, his charm faltering. "Claire, it's complicated." "Lena, I swear, I was going to tell you." "Tell me what?" Lena snapped. "That you're a liar? That you're running some scam with her money?" Claire's eyes widened. "What scam?" The bar was quiet now, guests glancing over curiously. Lena didn't care. "He's not who you think he is," she told Claire. "He's been playing us both." James stood, his hands raised. "Lena, stop. You don't understand. I was in debt, bad debt. The kind of people who don't let you walk away. Faking my death was the only way out." Claire stepped back, her face pale. "You lied to me too?" Lena's heart raced, but a strange calm settled over her. She saw James for what he was now, a coward, a manipulator. She turned to Claire. "You deserve better than him. So did I." Claire's eyes met Lena's, and for a moment, something passed between them. Understanding, maybe even respect. Then Claire stormed off, leaving James alone. Lena didn't stay to hear his excuses. She walked out, the ocean air cool against her skin. Mia was waiting by the staff entrance, her face etched with worry. "What happened?" she asked. "He's a liar," Lena said, her voice steady. "But I'm done letting him define me." Mia smiled, a soft, knowing smile. "Good. You're more than his shadow, Lena." That night, Lena and Mia sat on the beach, the waves a steady rhythm. Lena felt lighter, unburdened. She glanced at Mia, her heart stirring. "You've been here through all of this," she said softly. "Why?" Mia's cheeks flushed, but she didn't look away. "Because you matter to me. More than you know." Lena's breath hitched. She reached for Mia's hand, their fingers intertwining. The world felt new, fragile, but full of possibility. James had taken so much from her, but he couldn't take this moment, this connection. Weeks passed, and James disappeared from the resort, leaving whispers of scandal in his wake. Claire, too, checked out early, her head held high. Lena heard she'd cut ties with James, her fortune intact. Lena felt a strange pride in her, a woman who'd refused to be played. Lena's life shifted. She threw herself into her work, her laughter returning. Mia was there, always, her presence a quiet strength. One evening, on the resort's balcony overlooking the ocean, Lena turned to Mia, her heart full. "I'm scared," she admitted. "But I want us." Mia's eyes shone. "I'm scared too, but I'm all in, Lena." They stood close, the sunset painting the sky in hues of fire. Lena felt alive, truly alive, for the first time in years. James's betrayal had broken her, but it had also freed her, to love again, to trust again, to choose herself. The ocean stretched endless before them, and Lena knew, whatever came next, she wouldn't face it alone.